Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. And one thing over the course of the entire existence of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that has always been really great is definitely the attention to detail when it came to costume design.
We weren't looking to do like X-Men, solidifying them through certain design choices to feel as a unified team. They're not a unified team for much of the film. That's kind of the point of the Avengers.
One of the things I tried to bring to the design was the sense of realism, and then having the costume designer have that as a basis for them to work from.
We took the Maasai tribe, the color of the Maasai tribe, which is bright reds and yellows, beautiful colors, and I brought the color up. And I also added beadwork to the tabard. I chevroned the patterns and beads on that tabard, so it would look like something that could be passed on and passed down.
And the Oscar goes to... Nope, yep, okay. Black Panther, Ruth Carter!
This has been a long time coming. Marvel may have created the first black superhero, but through costume design, we turned him into an African king.
And one thing that we really appreciate is looking back at how a lot of the actors who play these iconic roles first experienced their own costumes, whether it be a costume fitting or just trying on the costume on set for the very first time. And it's something that we think is incredibly awesome, and there's been so many awesome moments associated with these cast members who ended up playing roles for years and years, stepping into their characters for the very first time. So let's look at some of the best and greatest moments from over the years, starting things off with Chris Evans and his costume fitting the very first time he stepped into the role of Captain America.
When we get to the final suit, you do have the stripes.
Been making the suit, we worked very hard on it, and I would just kind of come in every couple weeks and try a new outfit on, and they would poke and prod and measure and cut, and I'd kind of stay out of it, and then finally they got it where they wanted it.
This is the best version. Absolutely.
First time putting it on, you just think this is kind of cool.
The helmet design, actually, when we first saw it on him.
Around his face, the straps.
Which Chris likes, I think.
Now, we've also seen a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that went into the making of that Captain America suit, and just the attention to detail that Marvel takes in general when approaching designs for various characters across the MCU. It's not just Captain America that has this close detail. There's a ton of Avengers who have some really unique and really thought out costumes for what we see on the big screen. Going back even earlier, we can look at Robert Downey Jr. suiting up for the first time in Iron Man, which was really interesting just to see how much the Iron Man suit had evolved over time, and while later on they really focused in on special effects to bring the Iron Man suit to life, in some of those first iterations of the suit, they did go down the unique pathway of having Robert Downey Jr. suit up in an Iron Man suit.
When you work with someone like Stan Winston's company, so far, this is John and my second film with them. It's still a pretty magical experience when that suit's first rolled out. And Shane likes to put it behind a curtain generally and unveil the curtain in a very dramatic way, and there was Iron Man standing behind.
What do we do today?
I turned it on.
Voila! Fast forward a little bit later on, when Captain America Civil War came out, we saw the first debut appearance of two major characters in the MCU, Black Panther and Spider-Man, and it was really incredibly exciting. And it's so cool to see the dedication and just the hard work that went into designing the costumes, and just getting to see Chadwick Boseman step into the role of Black Panther for the first time with that costume is definitely something special. And it's really cool just to look behind the scenes of Civil War and see how they put that all together.
Things like, you feel that this suit is the pinnacle of that culture as opposed to a technology. What we ended up trying to bring to it was really a sense of that combination of the two. Woven into that construction is also the culture. So there's a lot of sense of etchings and very fine detail that would be from hopefully a cultural roots, but the way it was executed was a way that our technology level wouldn't be able to to be accomplished.
Alternatively, we did see Tom Holland join up in the MCU in Civil War as well, and they did do a mix of having him try on the suit, and also we've seen him in just a typical motion capture suit to kind of combine both things together and bring Spider-Man to life in a new way when the MCU was really introducing this version of the character for the first time.
We wanted to go back to sort of like a retro look to him, and I think we created that, and yet this is a Tony Stark suit, so it's not just everybody's Spider-Man moment, so this is something that Tony gives him, so it's got some pretty cool moments.
Matter of fact, we've even heard a funny story from Tom Holland where he kind of explained what it was like the very first time he stepped into the role of Spider-Man and dressed up as the character.
I got cast in Civil War, I flew to Atlanta, I went to my first suit fitting. The suits typically take 10 to 15 weeks to make, right? And they didn't have enough time to make one for me, so I was gonna wear my stunt doubles one, who at the time was a good 3 inches bigger than I was. And when I tried it on, it was just all baggy and saggy and like a sort of sad-looking Spider-Man. It wasn't quite as heroic as I had hoped.
But Tom Holland wasn't the first actor to jump into the role of Spider-Man. Matter of fact, there had been 2 other actors who had played Spider-Man in the Sony universe before him, with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And it's really cool to look at those early moments of these actors jumping into the suit for the first time for characters that they would represent a different era for, and that was something we really liked to look back at.
This is the costume, this is the outfit. It's different, I mean, we're changing things up.
Yeah.
Kim Barrett did an incredible job, and when you first wear it, it's like, oh, okay, here we are. I better savor this moment, and it is a surreal thing when you see yourself embodying something that's meant so much to you.
Moving forward, Scarlett Johansson's played the Black Widow for quite some time, and with a new Black Widow movie coming up, it's been really interesting to see how this character has evolved over the years and how we've seen many different iterations of this character play out.
For me, just having done 3 films so far with Marvel, and also with this, with the same stunt group, I know what the ins and outs are more. I feel way more comfortable fighting. I feel way more comfortable hanging 60 feet in the air.
Scarlett and I have worked together quite a bit now. Her double is Heidi Moneymaker, who I hired and put them together on Iron Man 2, and she's doubled her ever since. She is truly one of the best stunt women in the world.
In Avengers Endgame, we had the hilarious storyline that followed Thor kind of gaining a lot of weight after the snap, and it was really interesting when they kind of pulled the curtains back to reveal what it was like to do a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff for Thor and how they were able to create a fat version of Thor with Chris Hemsworth, and just kind of how they went through the whole design process. It's really unique.
I had a big sort of fat suit, which I think was sort of 60 or 70 pounds. This little move. Yeah, that's the shimmy. It was the hottest I've ever been. How does that feel? Oh, I mean, amazing. Looks like it's in the right spot. And we had obviously the beard, the hair, and I had these things that go in the mouth to kind of plump out my cheeks a bit, which sort of had a little effect on the voice as well, but probably in a good way. It was a different Thor.
Then on the flip side, if we look to Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of those characters rely completely on practical effects and makeup to bring their characters to life. Seeing the transformation process for Nebula is one that's incredibly unique, just because of the close attention to detail and just how great the character ends up looking after all of the makeup is applied to bring this character to life. We've also seen other characters from Guardians of the Galaxy, like Gamora, with some behind-the-scenes makeup stuff. And even Drax is another character that has a lot of attention to detail when designing and shaping the team. That's definitely something we think is really cool, and it's one of the reasons why Guardians of the Galaxy really pops out, because it has a lot of really iconic looking characters. We've also seen some of the motion capture work that some of the other actors in the Marvel Cinematic Universe do, where they're still in costume and they have to kind of bring their character to life more with their own emotion, and then digitally their characters are presented in a different way. Mark Ruffalo has been involved in this for a long time with his portrayal of the Hulk. And if we want to look at another character who also is heavily overhauled in the digital realm, is definitely Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. And it's been really cool to see how he's been able to step into the role and bring the character to life, wearing the motion capture suit, and then what they do digitally to make Thanos look as menacing as he really is. Then, with the Falcon and Winter Soldier just wrapping up, it's been really interesting to look at Sebastian Stan, who of course has a metal arm as the Winter Soldier, and it's really interesting just to hear about the process that goes into creating his arm and how he has to slip into it.
The arm, the metal arm, is that a real metal arm that you're carrying around?
No, it's not.
It is not?
No, it contains a lot of lube that, funny enough, only Anthony seems to notice every time we're on set.
What do you mean it has lube?
Well, I gotta get in there.
So what did you guys think of all of these moments and all of the dedication that goes into the cast members trying on various costumes? We think it's really cool the amount of dedication that goes into costume design, both on the designer's point of view, but also the actors that have to go through so many different fittings, and then they have to wear these costumes for long periods of time when they're filming various films. We definitely would like to know which costume in all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is your favorite, so make sure you let us know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on for more videos like this uploaded every single day of the week. That is it for today though. We'll see you guys all next time with a brand new video.